The moment I woke up, I knew something was terribly wrong. I was lying on an incredibly smooth, curved surface. When I tried to move backward, I suddenly slipped toward the edge. I froze. Below me was a pitch-black abyss that seemed to have no bottom. My left leg had gone numb, and both of my hands were badly injured. I forced myself to stay calm and looked around. Smooth, curved structures surrounded me, while the top was so far away that I couldn't see any way out. Then I heard a faint train whistle coming from somewhere deep below. The sound was so distant that I realized the abyss must be unimaginably deep. One wrong move could send me falling to my death. But things were about to get worse. Dark clouds began gathering overhead. It was going to rain. I knew the rain would make the already smooth surface even more slippery. I couldn't just sit there and wait. I pressed my left hand against the wall and pushed myself with my right leg. But I suddenly slipped again, nearly falling into the abyss. I quickly stopped and controlled my breathing. Then, I looked at my injured palms and realized I needed more friction. I wiped my hands against my clothes and blew on them to dry the blood. Then, I gripped the wall with both hands and tried again. This time, I succeeded. Hope returned. I repeated the same process several times, but my palms soon became badly worn and covered in blood. Then, I noticed something terrifying. On the opposite wall, a pair of bloody handprints had appeared. I thought I was hallucinating, so I closed my eyes and opened them again. The handprints were still there. I had no time to investigate. The clouds were getting darker, so I dried my hands and continued moving. But the slope was becoming steeper, making the wall even more slippery. Then, I noticed something impossible. The opposite wall was copying my movements. Every handprint and sliding mark I made was appearing there, too. I pressed my hand against the wall. A moment later, an identical handprint appeared on the opposite side. A terrible feeling came over me. What kind of place was this? It felt neither like a dream nor reality. I had no other choice but to keep going. Then, thunder suddenly shook the sky. I raised my hand. A drop of rain landed on my palm. My worst fear had come true. Heavy rain began pouring down, making the smooth wall almost impossible to grip. I desperately held on, but my body slowly began sliding downward. I was losing hope. Then, I remembered the necklace around my neck. I quickly removed it and wrapped it around my hand several times, hoping it would increase my grip. I tightened my hold and kept fighting to survive. I didn't know how much time had passed. Then, everything suddenly went silent. When the scene changed, I was gone.